Now here's a great quote. This is my favorite from Houdini. He says, "There's no trick getting the rabbit out of the hat. The real trick is getting him in there in the first place." And then there's a similar law of life by Cavett Robin. And this is what he says. There's a similar law. There's no trick getting success out of any of us. The real trick is getting within us the dedication, desire, and the perseverance that leads to success. Now I'm going to differ with Cavett, because I believe the Creator, I believe the good Lord, all gave us that perseverance, that desire, and that dedication. However, some of us have misplaced it. We haven't lost it, we've just misplaced it. So part of my job here today is to inspire you, not to motivate you. Matter of fact, I'm not a motivational speaker. I don't have the credentials. I'm not tall enough. What I am, I'm an informational speaker, and to share information with you so you can get better at what you do, to inspire you to work as hard on yourself as you do at your job. I think we've all heard the story about the two woodsmen. They're going to have a contest who split the most wood over a 6-hour time. One guy's 270 pounds, big, burly, got arms like jackhammers. The other guy's small, sort of like Woodruff size. The big guy looks at the little guy, thinks to himself, no contest. Well, the contest begins, and they start chopping wood. Within 45 minutes, the little guy kind of disappears for about 15 minutes. Now, this happens every hour on the hour. And at the end of the 6 hours, they take a step back and look at the wood piles. And lo and behold, the little guy almost has twice as much wood as chopped as the big guy. The big guy looks over at the little guy and says, "You must have cheated. And not only did you cheat, every 45 minutes, you went and took a break." The little guy says, "I didn't cheat, and it was easy to beat you. Because when you thought I was taking a break, I was sharpening my axe." So how often do we sharpen our axe? Too many of us, we just keep chopping and chopping and chopping and working hard. They say the opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's conformity. It's doing it like everyone else. And sometimes we don't take a step back and think about what we do and why we do it. There's another story, it takes place in the early 20s when men still walk to work to the local factory. It's about this one gentleman. He walks to work every day, takes the same route. And on his route, he passes a jewelry store. And inside the display window is a big clock. Now, as he passes that jewelry store, he always pauses, reaches in his vest pocket, pulls out his pocket watch to make certain the time on his pocket watch is in step with the big clock. Now, he does this day after day, week after week, month after month. And the shop owner inside looking out observes and kind of curious what he's doing. Well, one morning, the shop owner's out sweeping the front sidewalk, and as routine, the gentleman comes by, stops, pulls out his pocket watch. And the shop owner says, "You know, I've been watching you do this day after day. I'm just kind of curious. What are you doing?" The gentleman says, "Well, I'm the foreman down at the factory. And one of my responsibilities is make certain the quitting whistle blows exactly at 5 o'clock. So I want to make certain the time is right." The shop owner gets a funny look on his face, takes even a half step back, and he says, "Well, isn't that interesting? Because I've been setting the time and the big clock to your quitting whistle time." So how often do we take a step back and analyze our references? They say most people in this world play the most unrewarding game. It's called follow the follower without knowing where the follower is going. See, as I said, the opposite of courage is not cowardice, it's conformity. It's doing it like everyone else. There's another saying that goes like this. Have you ever read the book, The Science of Getting Rich by Wallace D. Wattles? You don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. You don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. You don't get rich by doing certain things. You get rich by doing things in a certain way. So I want to talk about that certain way today. So you don't become vanilla. Because if you're vanilla, then you get compensated like all the other vanillas. So we need to do something on purpose to differentiate ourselves.